Greetings, thank you for joining me today. Now, at the risk of sounding like one of those dreadful missed play adverts, where the youngster is sitting in what looks like a quiet office, dossing around playing on their mobile phone, we're in an echoey room today. Marvellous, huh? Do bear with me, it won't be for long, believe me, I wouldn't want to do the whole video here. Starting here, this is the video 4 in a series dealing with the installation of a brushed bicycle motor on a bicycle, dealing with the rubbishy kit that we had and creating the bracket that we need. Video 4, we're going to be extracting some metal here. This piece of metal here, this used to be part of a shower unit, but it's nice thick metal. It's a couple of mils thick, just what I need. Bloody if I'm throwing it away. I'm going to extract that and use that to create a nice L-shaped bracket to join the motor platform onto the clamp thing that clamps it to the bike. And in so doing, I should have something fairly durable that, because it's aluminium, won't rust. Yeah. So that's what we're doing. Got a feeling I'm going to be clamping this one flat again. I don't mind. I'll make it work. Oh, what a surprise. The glue delivers. It's been here 5 years. And it's still stuck. Oh dear. Yeah, that was kind of predictable, wasn't it? Okay. What I don't want to do is cause problems with the pipes down here that are on the floor. Because there's every opportunity to do that. Nor do I want to slip and gouge my wrist open with this nice piece of metal. Let's try not to do that. Bum. I would rather not do this with the tiles on the floor, and I think that's the way we're going now, isn't it? Okay, not ideal. Be grateful you don't have smell-o-vision. The smell of the mould coming off this is frightful, really. It smells like when one of your kids leaves a sandwich in their pocket all over the the hot summer holidays, and you find it just as you're washing it. Green. This is annoying. Let's just put that over there. We have a big pile of problem in this room, don't we? Oh dear. I think if I just support this from underneath, I might stand a chance. I might. Oh look, it's cracked in a multitude of ways. Marvellous. I suspect these cracks actually date back to before we decided to rip out the bath. It would account for some of the water ingress. You're never going to get the result you want when you have an upstairs bathroom. You really just don't. Oh, the smell. You know what? And this is a heavy thing. Really heavy. They don't feel like wall tiles, they feel like floor tiles. Which would have been a choice back in the day when they did this. You know. It's been done in the last 10 years and failed within 5. Oh my life. I'm pleased to know this is not connected to anything at the back. Downstairs bathroom's already operational. Retain a toilet up here because the new office is going to have an ensuite. Obviously, if you're going to do this, wear protection. And don't work near power lines, of course, which we're not. Okay, so some success then. I didn't succeed in getting the thing off without bending it, of course. I will bend it back. Yeah, so for the most part the glue was very firmly stuck and really did resist me removing it. All the tiles are broken, well, except for the main one, of course. That wasn't really, that had a bit of on the edge, but yeah. Some water had still found its way down the back. I knew that was going to happen anyway. There was so many ways for water to find ingress through this whole structure. But yeah, so onwards with this and we'll straighten it out and do what we need to do. Catch you in a moment. Okay, so a week has passed since that last video. Yeah, it's all about fitting your projects in when you can. Work takes priority after all. Yeah, so a week's passed, and so it's time to move on a little bit, at least, with the project. Now, I'm going to use that piece of metal to create a bracket, I think, but I'm also going to need this rather nice piece of, well, it's brand new metal. It's a square tubing that I got from Wix, and not the cheapest of objects, but it is aluminium, which means whilst it's quite strong, it's not likely to rust, which will bring down the image of the thing, and so it's going to last a wee bit longer. Got to take account of that when we do the build. However, I put the motor on the shelf to give it a cursory lockdown. So I've taken a bit of, I think you'd call it strapping. Normally if you can use it for many things, but it's great for, well, this sort of use really, bolting down a motor on a piece of wood, amongst other things, but it's often found in building roofs and other places like that. It's very strong, and I decided to use a piece of that, strap it down firmly, screws all the way through, and we've got a little bit underneath that may be useful for holding on a light. We'll see. The aim is to have a bicycle that is functional, safe and well lit, so the more opportunity you have to mount a light, the better, I say. So yeah, it's nice and sturdy as it is, and I'm going to turn the camera around and you can see what we're trying to do. Okay, so here's the mounting plates that I created in the previous videos. The two of them clamped together with the 4 bolts. And decided, of course, not to crush the frame, amongst other things. Not complete yet, obviously, but there we go. It's going to take a coat of paint and rubber mounting sheets behind just to make sure this thing holds steady. At the moment, it's got a little bit of rock in it, but as I say, a bit of rubber mounting sheet around the mounting holes, the mounting shafts, will put pay to that. Now, my thought with this is to take that square tubing, which is going to be part of it, and the sheet that I extracted from the previous video, the part from the bathroom, and create a sort of bracket leading down. And what I want to do is put the motor around about here, so that the freewheel cog here is in direct line with the drive cog here, and that'll put it at a suitable height to be as low as possible, keep the centre of gravity really low. That'll improve stability in the ice and snow. Believe me, I do a lot of cycling in those sort of conditions, and yeah, I felt it to be just right there. Now, to make that happen, I'm going to use the steel tubing, but in rummaging around I've also found some, I suppose you can call it aluminium bar. It's not too thick. It's only, what is it now? 2 going on 2 and a bit mils thick. I don't have a tape measure to hand. However, I thought, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to create 4 straps. 2 shorter ones, which are these here, and they're going to go, well, roughly here and here on the lower portions. They're going to be behind the nuts, obviously, but I'm just to flesh it out a bit. Then I'm going to create. Then I created 2 more. Now these are in the unbent condition, but they're basically going to go over the top. So I'm going to create a bend here, I think. So they'll come out over here and down. That way. So, and I'm going to bend the other 2 back to create a sort of bracket, 2 brackets to hold it in the right position on the frame, so it doesn't slip into the frame and grind all the gears into the turning wheel. And the top ones, of course, they'll come over and down here and under to properly hold that bracket in place as best it can be from that angle. Then I'll have strapping coming up to here to hold the thing secure that way. Possibly another one on this side just to make sure it doesn't wiggle its way into the wheel. Yeah, it's all about that. Hopefully that makes a lick of sense to you. It's been a pretty long day, getting all housework done for the most part. But these brackets themselves, they're the work of, yes, I could have used just another section of that strapping, but you don't always get the holes where you want them. It's generalised strapping. This is custom, so I've got a large hole to make with the mounting bolts, and then these tiny holes will be for a set of screws, much as I did with the mounting block here. That's my thoughts so far. Obviously you're going to see the progress over the next couple of minutes as I try and knit all these little videos together. Anyway, back shortly. Okay, so moving on. I've bent the first two pieces of strapping to shape. So as you can see, I've bent it around the bracket here with the bracket mounting point. Yeah, bracket and mounting point, so as it will mate with the side of the plate like that. I can screw it into place, and you can see it'll all fall into line. It's not the only part that's going to hold this, of course. And over the top, I'll follow through with these in due course, and bend those so they come down on the other side. That's holding the plate relatively straight from this part of the bicycle. I've had the back wheel off so I can fit the chain, because it comes with this reasonable length of chain, if we're being honest, and it's of reasonable quality, so I thought, well, let's give it a crack and see how long it lasts. It doesn't have a break in the chain, so it's not quick release. Some people like quick release, some people don't. I favour quick release because I've spent too many hours pinching my fingers trying to put a chain back together when I pushed one of these little links out. Now I do have a pin removal tool to push the pin out of the chain so I can loop it through, but putting the pin back in place when it's on the bike is an absolute... oh, it's horrible. I don't like doing it. And of course you've seen I've got a shake, so it makes it that much harder for me. I always recommend having one of these sort of things in your kit. Good for anyone really. There are two sorts of chain you can get out there. There's the this is a sort for single speed, which is this sort of chain. It's a single speed. It's not designed for derailleur, and this chain doesn't bend too much side to side. It's very rigid. And there's the other sort for the derailleur, which we have of course on the other side, where the that chain is designed to flex this way, as well as the regular links. So if you're like me, you carry a couple of these, one for derailleur, one for the straight link, because if the chain should break, you don't want to be messing around trying to piece the thing back together with the broken bits of chain. You just nip out the bits of broken chain and try and piece it together with this and a little bit of chain that you'll keep in your bag for spare. Yeah, it's not ideal. It's not ideal, but the more you can do to prepare you for the bad times, the better your toolkit will be. So that's what I have. So I'm going to now try and hold it all in place. And it's got caught on something. Marvellous, huh? Right. Da, 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 da. Yes, we are caught on something. Never runs smooth, does it? Believe it or not, it was fine a couple of minutes ago. Now, as I say, it comes with this generalised piece of chain, and if you are a novice at this, you're not going to enjoy this kit because the chain is rather long. Now it's wrapped fully around a large cog. There's the large cog that came in the kit. And you can see, to properly stretch it, it comes out to about here. Okay, now here, this is virtually at the end of the wheel. And if I put it around the cog there, and sort of try and hold it broadly in place where it's going to go, you realise that the motor's going to be in the wrong position. Because the further out this motor is, the more chance it's going to shake and rattle and bend slightly on the bracket and fall out of alignment. And when it does that, we're going to lose a chain. We risk the motor shaking and bashing into the spokes, trashing the wheel and landing me under the wheels of a truck. Yeah, I do things in those terms. So I'm going to shorten this chain with my chain link tool remover kit and pop one of these in because life's too short, and then get back to you when we've got a shorter chain. So a quick aside about chains. Now, as I say, I carry lengths of chain with my toolkit because you never know when you're going to need them. You can't have a complete repair kit. I mean, a complete repair kit will be a replacement part for every part of the bicycle that might fail. And whilst we all might be able to afford it, no one wants to carry the things. But when it comes to chain, yeah, I will carry a few little pieces like this because they do come in useful. And when you buy a regular length of chain, often you'll need to take a little bit off it anyway as part of the fitting process. But I keep them around and keep them in the kit because they are useful. Now, you'll notice I've not pushed that pin fully out. I'll leave it like that because, and you do need to protect it, like have a little box within your toolkit to protect your little bits of chain. Keep them clean and keep them pushing that pin all the way out. You don't want it all the way in, you don't want it all the way out. What you want is the ability to push that back in. Now, if you push it all the way out with your chain link removal tool, you'll find it an absolutely monumental task to push it back in to that nesting hole. They will slip, you will catch your fingers, you'll drop it in the darkness. These sort of problems never happen on a nice sunny day. You know, it's always in the rain. So I like to leave it like that. So if you can find yourself some shelter, some small shelter, and then you can use that length of chain and you can use your tool to gently ease it back into the oil on the other side. You know, just thought it's worth mentioning. I also keep lengths like this because you can never tell when you're going to need to piece things together. This came apart quite easily, and yeah, I keep them, and they're worth having because, like I say, be prepared. Yeah. Anyway, back to the action. Okay, some progress. So I've screwed these straps into the motor mounting board, so they're relatively secure, and I've finagled them into position. There's a little bit of tension and it's not holding straight at the moment. I don't need it to really. I just wanted to try and line up the motor drive cog with the one on the bicycle wheel and get things in line. The chain is about the right length. I've adjusted it properly and I've got the chain link in there. You can't see it, but trust me, it's in there. I now need to just take the other straps and bend those to shape so they can mate with the other end of the platform probably, just to try and hold things a little more secure. And then I'll think about further reinforcing the position by utilising the bolts here, and there's one a little lower down. Use those and make to sort of create a flex plate that goes here. We'll see how we go with that. In case you're wondering, this GRP is still curing. It smells great, really, if you like that sort of thing. It's not to be recommended, it's not healthy, and it will stop smelling when I paint it and it's all dried.